Oprah Winfrey's story is one of the most extraordinary journeys from hardship to influence in modern history. She was born in rural Mississippi in 1954 to a teenage mother and spent her early childhood in extreme poverty. Her grandmother raised her for several years in a small house with no running water. But despite the circumstances, Oprah showed an early passion for communication. At just 3 years old, she was reciting Bible verses in church so confidently that people began calling her the preacher. When she was around 6, she moved to Milwaukee to live with her mother. The environment was unstable, and her childhood became much more difficult. She faced serious trauma and abuse, something she later spoke about openly and used to help millions of people who had similar experiences. School became her refuge. Oprah found comfort in reading, and she would escape into books for hours. She later said that reading gave her a window to a world that made more sense. By her teenage years, Oprah was living with her father in Nashville. Her father, Vernon Winfrey, was strict and demanded discipline and excellence. It was a turning point. He insisted she read a book every week and write reports on them. This structure gave her direction and rebuilt her confidence. Under his guidance, she became an honor student and won awards for dramatic interpretation and public speaking. At 17, she won the Miss Black Tennessee beauty pageant, and that title unexpectedly opened a door. A local radio station hired her to read the news. Her emotional, natural speaking style, which had once made her stand out in church as a child, now set her apart as a young broadcaster. In college, she studied communications while continuing to work in media. She became the youngest and first Black female news anchor at WLAC-TV. But hard news didn't suit her style. She cared too deeply about the people in the stories and connected emotionally with guests and audiences. That quality, once seen as a weakness for news broadcasting, became her greatest strength. In 1984, she took a job hosting a struggling morning show in Chicago. Within months, her empathetic, honest, and energetic presence transformed it into the top-rated show in the city. 2 years later, The Oprah Winfrey Show launched nationally. It would become one of the most influential programs in television history. Her success wasn't built on image or spectacle. It was built on the same traits shaped in her childhood. The little girl who recited verses in church, the teenager who rebuilt herself through books, the young woman who spoke with emotion instead of hiding it. Everything she became bloomed from those roots.